What you guys write, that he's lost his knockout power and so forth, and I think he misses that at this point. He knows that that's what people really want.
Freddie, Jessie Vargas also had a small stint with Eric Morales as his trainer. Do you feel he could have picked something up there that could benefit him now that he's going into the fight with Manny Pacquiao?
With Eric Morales?
Yeah, Morales.
I don't know. I mean, he seems like he gets along with the trainer he has now, but he says he's better than me, but we'll see.
3 years ago, Freddie, you mentioned that after Manny retired, you will do the same too. Are you still thinking the same way, or you change your mind?
Possibly. I don't know. I'll ever retire because I don't know what else I to do myself. I mean, I can't sit home and watch TV all day or something like that. I mean, if I didn't have the gym, I work 12 hours a day there, and it's a place I love to be, and it's a lot of fun, and I have some young prospects coming up, and I haven't really made that decision yet. But if Manny retires, I might retire. It could be, but I'm not sure yet.
Work be a little bit different.
It's a little bit different, yeah.
Without money.
It'll be a lot different without me.
Freddie, while on the subject of retirement, do you think, depending on the performance Manny puts up, that will he fight again or retire after this? Do you think it all depends on how he performs?
I believe that he'll fight again. He's not near done. Again, like I said, I think he's doing better now than he has been in a long time, and I expect that to carry over into the next one.
Yeah, Freddie, a lot of fighters, it's always when they start talking about retirement, they always say maybe it's time to get out. Now, he's talked about it, he said he's out, now he's back in. How do you feel about that, though?
Well, the thing is, I mean, after the last fight, he told me, he'll probably fight again, but he just wants to, he's running for senator, and he had a lot on his plate and so forth. So I think he needs to take some time off, and I think that was the best way to do it. Just step away for a little while, and then when he came back, he's had probably longer layoffs in between fights.
But when he says, like, if he loses, then he'll probably this fight that he would get out. I mean, it's kind of like it's a different mindset than that you normally have, saying, well, I'll come back.
No, because I think more of the retirement comes from his family, because they want him to retire, his mom and his wife and so forth, and they'd like to see him retire. I don't think he's not quite ready for that.
Freddie, if he knocks Vargas out, right? He can do that. What else would he have to do, and how many times would he have to do it before there would be some serious talk about another Mayweather fight?
There'll be talk about another way.
Mayweather is in the gym now.
Yeah, and that would be right away, and I think he wants a rematch. I want a rematch. I was disappointed in that performance. I know Manny can do better. Manny thought he won the fight, and he knows he can do better. And we would love to have that fight one more time, yes.
But what would it take for him to
look good in this fight?
And what's your definition of looking good?
Yes.
You have to knock him out.
And he understands that he needs to look good in this fight to get that fight.
Thank you.
Freddie, can you talk about the proper strategy to fight Jessie Vargas, please?
The proper strategy, pretty much he's a guy that likes to come forward, and he likes to fight, and he likes to exchange, and Manny is the same. He likes that, so it should be a really, really good fight. I think, but I think if he comes too aggressively, he'll get knocked out maybe a little bit earlier, maybe about four or five rounds. Manny will knock him out, I think.
Do you consider Manny Pacquiao already changed his mind about the religion and the way he have to box in the ring?
I don't think it was any change there. It's just like he was just tired of people criticizing for knocking people out, I feel. I mean, everyone's saying he doesn't knock nobody out at 147, but he's never been a big puncher at 47. But the thing is, he can punch at 47 if he wants to, and this is the best camp I've seen yet. So I think he's doing really, really well. I think he's probably settled into this weight class, and I've never seen him better than this training camp. Between the Philippines and here, it's been one of the best training camps we've ever had.
Freddie, and as you were being asked about the potential rematch between Pacquiao and Mayweather, Manny said he would invite Mayweather on Saturday to attend. Would you object to that, or are you with that?
Well, I'm sure Mayweather's going to be watching because if he's back in the gym now, that's a definitely possible opponent. So I hope he comes, yes.
How did you react to that, him sparring or whatnot back in the gym? Mayweather?
It means maybe he's a little bit bored and maybe wants to come back also.
The Pacquiao you trained?
But I can't read his mind. I mean, I have no idea what. He came by my gym twice, and why he came by my gym twice, I'm not sure. I mean, was he looking for Pacquiao? I don't think so, but the thing is, I don't know what he was looking for. But
T-shirts.
Wild card. T-shirts.
Did he buy any?
Yes, he did.
Well, we like him already. The Pacquiao you trained in this camp, how would he have done against the Mayweather you faced?
Knock him out. He's doing really, really well. I mean, the power is really there. My shoulders are very sore right now from this guy, and I've never had that happen with Mike Tyson, never mind Pacquiao. I mean, he's hitting really, really good, and I'm really happy where he's at. We had our last workout yesterday, and he's giving he's on a quiet jog right now, and we're done and ready.
That not many people will believe you, and what do you take to that? I mean,
I don't know if people believe me. I don't really care if they believe me. I have my own feelings. You asked me the question, and I gave you my answer. I don't give a damn what you think.
How much are your T-shirts?
$25.
Is there a discount for more than one?
No.
Hey Freddie, with Jessie being labeled as the champion and Manny the legend, which kind of implies that he's the older fighter, right? Mm-hmm. Does Manny feel that way? Does he feel like he's the veteran, the older guy coming in fighting Jessie, or he just feels the same as he was 25?
Well, I think he knows that. I mean, he knows the age difference and so forth, and but I don't think it really worries him and so forth. And I think he's older, more experienced, and more seasoned. I think we're in a better spot than Jessie is.
Do you think there's enough money out there to bring Mayweather back?
For sure. yes, I do. That will generate a lot of money, and I don't think either one of them want to leave that on the table.
You know the networks don't.
Yeah.
I saw Les Moonves, and he told me let's do it again.
When was that?
At a restaurant about 2 months ago.
The restaurant
in
was
LA.
the same one where you made the fight?
Yes.
What's the name of that restaurant?
Craig's.
The fight was never made there.
Yeah, we have a case. We have litigation.
We just gave that guy my phone number.
Freddie, do you think Canelo is willing to go down in weight in order to face Manny? Big box right now.
I would hope so. I mean, I do like that fight. The thing is, the weigh-in would be fine, but the thing is, how much you can gain after the weigh-in would be kind of we'd have to play with that a little bit. And but I do like that fight for Manny. Yes, I think Amir Khan was beaten for 5 rounds and made a mistake and get caught, and I don't think Manny will make that mistake. I think Manny can outbox him.
Freddie, this is a little off the subject, but what do you that opens the door when you mention Canelo. There was a time when you weighed in the morning of the fight. Mm-hmm. Would you like to see it go back to that? Because now guys are fighting guys 20 pounds heavier.
Yeah, I think.
And Manny's not going to gain any weight.
Right, and I think it makes it more of a fair fight.
Yeah.
I do like the weigh-in the way it used to be. It's more of a true weight, and now guys blow up and gain 25, 30 pounds.
It's more of a television stunt. They do them in extra.
Yes.
Freddie, if Manny doesn't get a Mayweather rematch immediately or a Canelo fight is made, are there any other fights that would intrigue you around his weight?
There's some good fights out there. There's a lot of names in a lot of fights. I mean, Amir Khan says he wants to fight Manny Pacquiao. A couple guys I can't remember their name right now. You can help me?
Broner?
No, Broner turned down $4 million offer. That was crazy. I don't know what he thinks he's going to make that kind of. Danny Garcia is definitely a good fight, I think, for Pacquiao. Terrence Crawford's a great fight for Manny. Yeah. I mean, he's a he's a good boxer, a good puncher.
Freddie, are you aware of Adrian's recent he had a difficult time, I would say. Adrian Browner, what is going through social media, he's very open about his personal.
Adrian Broner is a good friend of mine. When I see him, I talk to him. We're very cordial with each other. He's fine. I hope the best for him, and I hope he does well. But he's not going to get a better offer than that, in my mind. So, if something's going through his mind, he should get rid of it. But that's a lot of money to turn down. No, not many fighters in today's industry making $4 million.
Hey, Freddie, your thoughts on Top War putting on the pay-per-view and HBO's not involved? Any noticeable difference there for you and the camp?
Well, we won't see that until we see how many sales there,
Sure.
how many buys there are, and if it goes well and there's enough buys, I mean, then Bob can tell Top Rank. I mean, he can tell HBO and Showtime to go fuck themselves.
He may have done that already.
That's what you know how Bob is. So, I mean, if it works, it works.
Do you care about the numbers, Freddie? Jessie Vargas is not a big name. Manny is. He's a little older, not the same star power he once had. Do you care about the pay-per-view numbers, or think people would?
I think when Manny fights a Mexican, I think it adds to it, and I think I think there's more fans out there than people realize for both guys, and I think it's going to sell well. But do I care what it buys? I don't get paid off pay-per-views. I don't care.
Did you ever imagine 2001 when Manny made his US debut at the MGM that he'll get this big and be called the legend?
Never in my wildest dreams did I think this. I knew he is special, yes, but I didn't know how special. Yeah, I didn't think it would be 8 world titles later. Yeah.
Did you think he'd even go as high as this weight? I mean, what weight did you think he could actually?
130.
130.
But he just the bigger fights. We had bigger weights, a bit more money, and we learned how to be better fighters. We had to learn to be better fighters to get wins with the bigger guys. So it was good work. It was hard work in the gym, and he's like his work ethic is unbelievable. He's really unbelievable, and it's just he's still the hardest worker I've ever seen in this game.
Did you encourage him to come back because what you saw in the Bradley fight, or was it all Manny's decision?
No, I didn't encourage him to come back, but I knew he would. The conversation we had after the Bradley fight, I thought the retirement was just a little time out.
Freddie, you as a team with Manny are aware of the big risk to fight a young fighter with Hungary, and how do you handle all the pressure that it takes?
We just get ready for the fight. I mean, the thing is, he's 100% prepared for this fight. Just because the guy's bigger and maybe weighs out well away. That's what we've been doing for a long time. But we're 100% ready for what he has to bring to the table, and that's how we do it. We do it with every fight. I mean, the only thing that really changes in the training camp is the strategy of how we beat these guys. And the strategy for this fight's a little bit different, yes, but overall, we still work the same routine all the time and make sure he's in the best shape possible and that he will not get tired in a 12-round fight.
Do you consider that you put more in the line that Jessie Vargas is putting?
No, I think he's putting his world title on the line. We're putting our reputation on the line. It's even. There's no sacrifice there. I mean, but again, the most important thing is that we're ready to fight this guy, and that's what I do. That's my job.
From the business side of boxing, is Pacquiao cognizant of the fact that if he does have an explosive performance, the kind that got people excited about him originally, like a knockout win that he hasn't had in 7 years, that a lot of the
You have to
excitement.
throw that in there, right? That's what's keeping going. Keep doing that. I like that.
Well, but have you? Is he aware that if he does score a knockout, that people get excited about him again, and that perhaps a lot of big fights will become more marketable?
I think that he's definitely aware of it because of what you guys write about him all the time, because he does knock anyone out lately, and I like that because it changes attitude in the gym. We had a good training camp for the last fight. It wasn't like this one. This training camp's been the best training camp I've ever had with Manny Pacquiao, I feel.
Freddie,
He's very explosive.
I remember for past camps you talked about Manny dropping a few sparring partners.
Mm-hmm.
Was he able to drop anybody in sparring in the lead up to this fight?
No, he didn't drop anybody, but he hurt guys along the way and so forth. But we do not. I mean, he tries not to knock the sparring partner out because we might need him the next day. So, but he's hurt guys along the way, and he's been in there with some really tough guys.
I remember back when you used to not really like it when he would have a majority of his camp in the Philippines, but you seem content with it this time. What's changed?
We had no choice. He's a senator. He had to go to work, and I mean sometimes you get out of Senate at 3 o'clock was the earliest, and 8 o'clock was like the latest. No, one night was 10 o'clock, but he went to the gym and we went to work. Like, he's done with his job, and let's go do what he really likes to do.
He does full workouts, even coming in late?
Full workouts every day. Late. I did give him one day off, and I did give him one day off here when we arrived in America because of the jet lag. He had Sunday and Monday off, and we started on Tuesday when we got here. So,
were there days when his mind seemed somewhere else?
yeah, we had those days. I asked him. I said, "Manny, what happened to the guy that was here yesterday?" And he said, he said, "Well, I'm not a machine." And I says, "Okay, I'll give you that one," because he had a great day one day. The next day, I was a little disappointed because I wanted another great day, and I didn't get it. And I asked him why, and I told him, I said, I might have to hire a psychiatrist.
I know.
And then I told him, I'm the psychiatrist. So, but he laughed at me. But he had good days and bad days. But that's part of training camp, though.
Freddie, we saw videos on social media of Pacquiao training this week here in Vegas at the Top Rank Gym. Is that normal to do the 20 minutes he did on the mitts with you? I think it was yesterday for fight week.
Yeah, that's normal. That was our last workout. And yesterday's workout, it was 20 minutes, but it was we talked a lot in between about how to set it up and what the strategy was in the move and so forth. So when I want to distract him and get him to slow down, I talk a lot, and he'll talk back to me, and I'll slow the pace down. So just I didn't want too hard to work, because the day before I think we worked a little bit too hard and showed a little bit too much. So we just had yesterday was a nice easy day, and that's our last day of gym workout.
He looked enthusiastic during the workout, not just the workout, but he was a little more candid at the press conference as well, as opposed to the last few fights he's had where he was obviously didn't want to be there. He wanted to get the fight on. But why do you think he's shown a little more enthusiasm in the lead up to this fight?
Maybe it's because I accused him of being a machine, and he wants the machine to hurt me. I mean, he's punching the shit out of me, and
good for him.
I mean, he says he's sorry after every time he knows he hurts or he hurts my shoulder. He says, "I'm sorry." I says, I wonder if he's gonna say sorry when he hits Jessie Vargas and puts him on his ass.
Hey, Freddie, is Manny motivated at all by what Bob's doing to make this fight possible? And the same people who lined up to profit from Manny for a long time are kind of no longer, or maybe they're taking like a wait-and-see approach. Is he motivated by
I think he's a little bit motivated by that HBO and Showtime or the bigger companies didn't give him a date. But I think he's used that for his own good. I think he has. Yes, I think that. Why doesn't HBO give me a date? Yeah. It's unusual. But I'm sure they have their reasons.
Sure.
But with Bob, I mean, he's doing this on his own, and we don't have to worry about HBO. I mean, they'll sell. I asked Bob where the advertisement's going to come from and so forth, and he's hired a couple companies from Fox and ESPN and so forth, and he knows what he's doing. Yeah. I mean, he's the best promoter in the world.
One more on the topic. Any noticeable difference without 24/7? Obviously, that was like a big lead up to all these Pacquiao fights, and you were always a big part of those shows.
24/7 was a great tool to get to advertise fights and so forth, and it's just I think the only why it's not around anymore is because it was the same people over and over again, because it was like the same 7-8 people. You only have so many guys in the business that can sell, and like me and Manny were on that show very early, and then I was on it with Oscar, and so I mean people really get to know me and so forth, and they get to know Manny and the inside a little bit more. It was a great show and a great advertisement, but I just think it's worn out a little bit, so that's why they just do like one show now before the fight, and I think that covers the bases pretty much.
Freddie, I asked Manny the same thing during this week. Can't look ahead, but if he gets past Vargas, do you guys want the fight with Terrence Crawford?
Terrence Crawford's been talked about quite a bit. I faced him in his last fight. He's very, to me, he's like maybe a young Mayweather. He moves very well. He's got great legs. He can move. He's a difficult opponent, yes, but he's not unbeatable. But it's a difficult fight. And it's one we really have to really get down. We need a very good game plan to beat him, and I think we have to be at our best to beat him also, and it's something that we're used to and something we can do.
If the Floyd fight never happens, not assuming you guys would want the rematch, but would a win over Terrence Crawford make up for a loss to Floyd Mayweather in a lot of ways?
No, I don't think he's quite that big yet. I mean, he's an up-and-coming fighter. He's still a young guy coming up, and he's more like our opponent in this fight. He's a little bit more well-known because they're broadcasting his fights out of Nebraska, and I think that's where he's from, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I forget, Fred.
just a matter of if anyone wants Dewey Cooper, he just sat down over there.
With the training camps,
There's no one going over there.
The way you had to conduct the camp for this fight, would that be enough for someone like Terrence Crawford or a Mayweather rematch, or would you have to try to get a little bit more time away from the Senate?
We had enough time to get ready for this fight. I think it's okay. And the thing is, we know when the Senate's in or out, so we know when we'd have to schedule that fight to give us the ultimate time to get ready for the fight. I mean, as long as they give me like 8 to 10 weeks, it's plenty of time to get ready for a fight for Manny.
Freddie, is John Molina a suitable opponent for this point in Crawford's career, and how do you see that fight playing out?
I like Crawford in the fight, but he's Molina's showed he's a good fighter also, but it's a good fight. But I really don't think about that career because I don't really have anything to do with either fighter. But it's a good fight. I think it's a fight Crawford probably wins.
Freddie, changing about the subject, I want to know what's your opinion about the new champions that say that they have to wait for a year to prepare for a fight. Do you consider it fair?
Where'd you hear that from?
Vasily Lomachenko.
I know, he needs a year to get ready to fight Manny Pacquiao?
Yeah.
That's unusual. I said, well, you need a year?
Who said this?
Lomachenko.
But the thing is, I know that, I know his father's the one who calls the shots in that camp, and his dad's very particular about the way he does. He trained in my gym for his first fight in America, and we got used to him a little bit. First round, left hand only. Second round, right hands only. Third round, you can throw combinations, but not too many of them. It's very unusual circumstances. Speedy Gonzalez was his sparring partner, and like Speedy was only allowed to use his certain hands in certain rounds and so forth. Maybe a little bit of a different way, but it works. I mean, he's a good fighter, and he's. I think he's a credible fighter. I think he's a good. He's very good at what he does. He has very good footwork.
But now it's very common to hurt a champion to say, I need more time to do that fight. And maybe that time is 1 year and or a half of
I don't think fighters are what they used to be. It's a little bit different sport now. And most champions only fight once or twice a year now. And I say it's hard to be sharp just getting ready for a fight just twice a year. And activities, I think activity would make guys better fighters, but that's just the way it is right now. And
it bothers you?
It's just different. It's a little bit of a different world right now, boxing.
It makes you angry?
It doesn't make me angry, no, but no, I mean, I can't be mad at it, but the thing is, I think he's just politely saying he doesn't want to fight Manny Pacquiao because who's going to wait a year? So, I'm not sure. It's again, his dad's in charge, and he has his own methods. I mean, he took after the first 2 years of boxing, he took the kid out of boxing and put him in ballet, and his footwork's unbelievable. It was a good move, so maybe he's smarter than the rest of us. I don't know.
Is that a competitive fight, realistically, if it did happen at 140 pounds, or is he too small?
I think it's a great fight for Manny and everybody in it's action fight. It's a good fight, yeah.
He said 135 only.
I know,
yeah.
But I say 140 only.
That's the year.
We don't need a year, though.
You don't.
How much stronger would Manny be at 140 if he was fighting there now?
He's a very good puncher at 140. He's a lot better puncher at 40, I think, than he is at 47, because the guys at 47, by the time they get in the ring, they're weighing like 155, 160. They're just bigger guys, and they can take more damage, and I think that's the main reason why we haven't knocked anyone. Well, not the main reason why we haven't knocked anyone out. Obviously, the religion didn't help us at all, but there's a number of things that all added up.
So we've thrown a few names out there, Crawford, Loma, but if Manny's going to continue on after this fight, what makes the most sense for you? What's the big fight he needs to? What challenge should it be?
I like the Mayweather fight because that's the one I felt we can do better on. But any one of those guys out there, they're all competitive fighters. And one thing about Manny Pacquiao, he doesn't want to fight anybody that's not going to put a good show on. He wants to fight the best out there. So any one of them, just line them up. We'll be okay with them.
What about the Danny Garcia Keith Thurman winner? It seems like that would be
That's a great fight. I mean, I think Thurman wins that fight, but I'm not sure. Garcia, I've always liked Garcia for Manny. I've asked for that fight many times, but I think Manny can outbox him pretty easily. But
after they fight each other, it seems like the winner would be a lot bigger name and more viable.
Yeah, it's just who do you think wins?
That one, I would lean towards Thurman too, but
Yeah.
he's the favorite.
He's a favorite, yeah, but I mean, we would have, if Thurman was the next opponent, that'd be fine with me. I mean, there's not a person you can name that I wouldn't put me in. Triple G is maybe too big because I mean, let's face it, he's a lot bigger. Does he still fight at 60 or is he 68 now?
60.
Oh, 60. I mean, by fight time, he's probably 70, 80. So I think he's too big for us. But that's something that I would
Alvarez is too big as well. Do you still feel that? Canelo's too big for Manny?
Well, the thing is that we have a weigh-in, and I think the thing is we have to limit how much he can gain after the weigh-in. I think that would be the only cap on that fight. I think that's a great fight for the world. It's a good fight. You know?
Freddie, how does Manny react when he reads the stuff that people write about him? Does it piss him off, or how does he feel about it?
I don't think it pisses him off. He doesn't comment on it too much. He doesn't ever complain about people writing about him. But I know he reads it though, and he's much more. He can read off the computer, and I can't because I don't know how to run a computer. I don't know what social media is. I mean, my phone, I talk to it and I can text somebody, and that's all. I mean, don't try to
send you an email.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck email.
Mail him a letter. We'll give you the address later.
You know, and like, how come you didn't like call me back or something like this? What the fuck are you talking about? I wish we had like the old telephones at home where I can't get a hold of every day. But one thing about the cell phone, I don't like it much, and I'd like to leave it home. But the thing is, you almost can't leave it home because, like, what if my mother gets sick and there's an emergency or something? I gotta have the phone with me at all times. If I forget my phone, I have to turn around and go get it. It's fucking unbelievable. I can't. I hate this world of social media. No, I do.
You sound antisocial.
I'm a little antisocial.
Do you think social media can influence the stock of a fighter, maybe make him better than what he is, and then eventually he gets exposed or whatnot?
I think you can make him a better seller of pay-per-view and stuff like that, yes. I mean, I'm sure they use it for good advertisement and so forth, but again, I'm not an expert on that, but I'm sure, because there's so many people on social media in my life. I mean, you know, I'm in the Philippines, and I'm sitting in the lobby waiting for someone to pick me up, and I see like 5 girls sitting over there, and they're all looking at themselves in their cell phones and taking pictures of themselves. And I says, they're not that good looking. What are they fucking doing? I mean, you know, like, give me a fucking break. Like, you want to take a picture of yourself? I've taken one picture, and you know how much I got paid for that one. So that's the only reason I took that picture. But I did learn how to do it, though.